And this is Rusty Bird with the Kirk and Bird Show. We are back. Now we're going to cover a little bit of Class 4 and Class 5. And we've got our experts here. We've got Mark Ragsdale from the 757 Western Branch Bruins, where he's the voice of that squad, and he has his own podcast, and we'll get him to shout that out a little bit. And then we got 757 PD rep Anthony Rob Robinson, all-state football player at Phoebus, former coach and everything PD, knows a lot about Warwick. And then we got Jay Gholson, the godfather of Prince William County sports, former star football player at Potomac High School, coached on the Hilton squad, and plays good music. So Western Branch, y'all get to check that out. And then, of course, Phoebus Phantom himself, Kirk Hilliard. So welcome to our preview, guys, our preview review of 4 and 5. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Yes. Thanks for
everybody subscribe, man. Subscribe to the Kirk and Bird Show.
That's right.
Hit that button.
Yep.
More money, more problems.
You don't make any money.
Hey, look. Hey, we start getting enough views on YouTube, you know.
Wilkes Barber is our first sponsor. So, all right. So, let's start off in the PD. Who we got, Rusty? We got Warwick and
Dinwiddie.
Warwick, Dinwiddie. Yeah. But hold on. Warwick beat Kings Fork, and I done heard so much about Kings Fork these last 2 years. What happened? Now, maybe none of us saw, but like, hey, Rob, had you seen Kings Fork, or Mark? You saw Kings Fork this year. Tell me about it.
The Messiah came back.
Yeah, I mean, Kings Fork out of the Southeastern District, you know, they had a good regular season, but Warwick ended up scrimmaging Western Branch there at the beginning of August, and Warwick, I mean, you would have thought that scrimmage was a regular season game. I mean, they've just been on a mission and beating Kings Fork. I mean, going up against Dinwiddie, they're both number 1 seeds. Who's the home team come this Saturday?
Dinwiddie.
All right. Well, I mean,
I think they had they got more power points.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, let's see, Dinwiddie. I mean, I got a longtime friend, Coach Kerry Parker, that used to coach at Dinwiddie. They're from 78 to 92. I'll go with Dinwiddie since they're at home.
Mark, how can you do that? You have to be loyal to the 7-5-7, Mark. Take it back right now.
Hey,
I'm doing the same thing.
I mean, Dinwiddie and King George, and I'm going with the home team there in for semi there.
That's cool.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the game, but I do know I did see Kings Fork play this year, and we did play Warwick, which was I think week 2. I can't remember. They played us tough. It was scoreless in the first quarter. They even took a pick 6 back, but it got called back. But we still ended up winning 25-0. Warwick has a very good young team in the trenches. I coached probably 3 of their 4 starting defensive linemen in youth ball. DeJuan Skipwith, Christian. I can't remember their last names, but we've had nicknames for all of them. But they came out. Messiah Delholme came and showed everyone that he's don't forget about his name. He's just as good as, the Basses and a lot of the kids in the district and even the South Side region. And I think he had like 2-3 picks, a couple touchdowns. Sophomore, very young. So I have some connections with Dinwiddie from Phoebus. We beat him in 2008 state title game. They had the Morgan kid I think Adam Morgan. Yeah. I think Adam Morgan was his name. And then 2010, we actually beat them at Dinwiddie, probably one of the most hostilest places that I've ever been. too as a coach, a player. Their quarterback was Chris Hall. I want to say Chris Hall was his name, was quarterback. Very good kid, very good quarterback. So going there, it's gonna be tough. Dinwiddie beat, I think, Thomas Dale this season.
Yes.
Yeah,
They did.
They
By 40.
beat Thomas Dale. That's a 6A opponent, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And I want to say convincingly beat Thomas Dale. So Warwick definitely has to come and continue to execute and play good football this time of the year. But I think it's going to come down to coaching, like some of you might have heard in our first show that we did. Coaching this time of year is very important. You might want to add a wrinkle or two here and there, but you got to execute what you've been doing well. Limit the mistakes, because Dinwiddie is good. They're very good. That's a hostile environment. They're gonna have a cannon. They're gonna have a crop fly over, a horse. It's gonna be hostile. But I think Warwick and the coaching staff has done a good job. You have some weapons. The Rios kid at quarterback, good running back. Messiah Delholm, the defense is solid. I'm going Warwick upsetting Dinwiddie 27-20.
Oh, I'm going Dinwiddie. I saw Dinwiddie play against Petersburg, and I saw it on film against Thomasdale. I saw what they played last Saturday. Being a Virginia Union graduate, that's near my Virginia Union school, so I'm going Dinwiddie. I'm going to say 30-12. Dinwiddie.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And they got a tough schedule.
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a good game. I definitely think it'll be a good game. If Warwick doesn't turn the ball over and penalties and get behind the sticks. I mean, I know that's a lot now. We talking about a lot, but they have to almost play mistake-free football against
on the road.
Yeah, on the road. On the road, you gotta play mistake-free football, because Dinwiddie is definitely the favorite for 4A. So,
hey, Rusty, how long is that drive from Warwick to Dinwiddie?
Not far. Not far.
It's not that far, because they're already in Newport News. They already.
Yeah, Warwick is up. So they, I think that's probably about a good hour, 15 minute.
All right.
And it won't be any traffic. They ain't got it. They don't really have to even.
I know.
I've
been there.
So look, all right. So yeah, I think Dinwiddie definitely had a tougher schedule.
Yeah.
They beat Thomasdale. They, in their district, Hopewell finished 6-5, Matoka 6-5, Colonial Heights 6-5, Petersburg 5-5, and then everybody beat up on Prince George and Meadowbrook. But one of the things I thought was interesting is
that's not competitive though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
Not bad though. That's not bad.
I'm saying it's competitive.
I mean,
beat
Dinwiddie beat number 2 seed Thomasdale. I mean,
not just that.
A lot.
So look, they beat Heritage of Lynchburg. Beat them bad.
And they just beat an undefeated King George team in overtime, and that's got to give them a lot of gas.
They beat King George. All that being said, I haven't been wrong yet. When I go with my frat brother, Ward, Spring 90 number 1. No, I'm gonna tell you, I thought from all the stuff I heard about Kings Fork, man, I thought that was gonna be more to have to worry about. But these Raiders seem legit to me, man. And I honestly think, if some of the things they've seen this year, and if they can not get blown out by Phoebus by 50, they got a chance, man. I think Dinwiddie's clearly very good, but I'm picking Warwick.
Hey, that was a week 2 game, by the way, versus Phoebus.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. You know me. I'm always leery about going undefeated, and I think you can learn from some losses. And since then, Warwick, you guys maybe gave them a chance. You exposed some things. I think the coaches could work on some stuff. And like you said, week 2, and from then on, man, they keep proving me wrong, even though I may not publicly say that I think they're going to win. I've just been spending like each contest. So when they beat Woodside, when they beat these teams, I'm like, okay, they legit. So
listen,
I think it'll be a tough game.
The fraternity gods are looking out for you. That's what it is. The fraternity gods.
Yes, it is. Yes, they are.
Jay.
And
Yeah.
Did Jay pick somebody?
Who'd you pick? Dinwiddie.
I want to pick Dinwiddie also because they just beat, a King George team that was undefeated. A great And by the way, class of 2025 is shaping up to be a great Virginia class. Harry Dalton of Dinwiddie is a sophomore. He had 275 yards against King George. And King George has another great running back that had 115 yards. But I mean, I would like to see Warwick win because it would possibly give, and by the way, whoever wins this game, I believe, is going to win the state championship. It would give Newport News their first state title since 2000, a heritage. So that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Newport News is typically a basketball city, but I like Dinwiddie. And by the way, all you Dinwiddie folks, make sure you subscribe to us, Coach Mills. So we've got 3-2 Warwick. Two teams.
Got a question for you real quick. I saw this a little bit on the boards. Rob, maybe the Peninsula District was a little better than we thought this year.
Yes, we were.
Yeah,
we were. We sent 7 teams to the playoffs. We have 2 regional champions. We were really, really good this year. I thought, I think the body of work and I guess that's what you guys are trying to tell me.
Our standard is here, bro.
Right.
That's what it is.
Rusty, another reason? Rusty, another reason you should bet all your life savings on work? Because not only is your fraternity brother coaching, but Messiah Del Home, which is going to be a big name, is a former Bruin, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Bethel Bruin, right?
Yes, he is.
So, Rusty, you're going to be upset when they lose to Dinwiddie.
Not going to happen.
And the Southeastern District sent 7 schools to the playoffs also.
Yeah. Right.
And Warwick beat one of them, so Phoebus clearly beat one.
Yes, they did.
So I think that
clearly.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I do think that Western Branch's defense set that beat down, there in the first week of November.
We still got to get to Maury Green Run.
Right, yes.
And I'll save it for after that. But let's talk about real quick. Let's leave enough time to talk about what is the strongest district in the 757. All right. So just think about it and we'll talk about it after the next one. So let's go. Let's finish up with this class 4. Who do we think?
Mark, you always starting stuff, Mark. You see that?
Yeah. No, this is great.
I love it.
Yeah. Green Run, Maury. I mean, get on your track shoes. I mean, that's gonna be a shootout. But I think and then the other side of the bracket, I mean, I think Stonebridge's gonna put up a fight, but I think Highland Springs is gonna come on down to Old Dominion. I picked Green Run and Highland Springs there to meet for the 5 state championship.
You like Green Run beating Maury? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Great, good pick. I think, and I agree with you, Mark. I think this might be collectively the best class in the state. This Final Four is probably the best Final Four in the state. Green Run, Maury, Highland Springs, Stonebridge. I got a chance to see both Green Run and Maury this year. Maury is still physical. They have Peyton Jones, a tailback, All-American. Kevin White is the quarterback at Green Run, transfer from the PD.
Mansfield.
Yep. He's a transfer from the PD, but he's able to make every throw that they ask him to make, and they have an exceptional group of wide receivers. Their scheme is very good. If they can be able to match the physicality of Maury, then they'll be fine because the offense is electrifying. But I'm going Green Run, 42-14.
Ooh.
Yeah, 42-14. And I'm gonna go Highland Springs over Stonebridge. And then I gotta go. I'm gonna go Highland Springs. They're tough. They're tough. Highland Springs for the win. Sorry, Green Run. You know, my big tackle 6'7", Thomas Will. He's 6'7" tackle freshman at Green Run.
What?
Yeah, he's good.
6'7" freshman at tackle.
Everybody knows about him.
I tried to get him at Phoebus, but hey, you know.
How many times did he reclass, Rob?
0. No,
Okay.
he's a legit. Like his birthday's in January. He's legit. Like I coached him last year at 13U. He was actually one of the youngest kids on the team, just to be honest. So, but Green Run is very good. I think they get over the Maury hump this year, but Highland Springs is just they're different. They're different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Matt Hatfield said that Kevin White is one of the best players that he's seen. He's like, arguably 5'11", 6 foot, but I know a nickname for Green Run is like the greatest show on turf.
That's what they call themselves. Yeah.
Look at their receiving core. They've got some big time. They are packed with athletes. I also feel that Green Run will get over the hump. And for you folks, you Green Run people, somebody complained that we didn't cover Green Run enough. Episode 21, we got an interview with Coach Brandon Williams, Norfolk State alum, great guy, doing a wonderful job at Green Run. And but yeah, I like Green Run, and you know, I won't be surprised if Maury wins, but I do like Green Run. I think that they've got they're one of the most athletic teams in the state of Virginia. And then we're going to have another episode with some Loudoun County folks, as well as 804 folks. By the way, Dinwiddie, look out for that. We're going to have an 804 slant. And then we're also going to have a Highland Springs guest. But yeah, and then I'll take Highland Springs over Stonebridge. Now, let's not branch off because we are going to have a Stonebridge segment, but don't count Stonebridge out. They're hot.
They are still the defending
two-time state
champions. Everybody, if you want to look it up, the penalty that Highland Springs got last year when their wide receiver scored, Rusty, it was the far end zone from us. And all the kid did was run in and he spiked the ball. When he spiked it as he was running, he didn't stop and spike it. And they gave him a celebration penalty and they missed the point. Now, there's a couple other calls, but that was a bad call. And Coach Thompson has said, we've interviewed Coach Thompson several times. Coach Thompson said, hey, we get bad calls down there because they played Highland Springs at Verina when they won their first. But yeah, don't be surprised if Stonebridge upsets Highland Springs, but they won't. So
well, I'm picking I'm picking Green Run over Maury now, and that'll be a track meet.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys are really. I mean, that's gonna be a fast game. But I have Green Run, and seeing Stonebridge play last Friday, and I saw them live against Freedom, and I seen Highland Springs play. I'm going for the upset, Stonebridge.
All right.
Going for the upset because I'll tell you why. That Stonebridge offense. I mean, I don't know what you call it. We have guys in the backfield, the ball snapped to a running back, and he does a 360 move, a spin. And,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well,
it's hard to defend in a week. I mean, I know he's done it before, but I hate that offense. I hate it as a defense. I hate that offense as a defender.
We do too at Phoebus.
Hey.
We played them.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
The guy spins, and then he goes, the ball.
Oh my gosh.
They do a 360 when they snap the ball, and that is confusing. And by the way, sitting at the 50-yard line in high school stands, they have fooled me on where the ball is. And I don't know how this defensive line, but I think that what Highland Springs has to look out for, and I said we weren't going to talk about this in depth, but You know, Zeke Wimbush is just an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to end up at Charlotte because there's a coaching change, and he's been to Pittsburgh and some other places. But they also have Mario Suarez, who's a really good quarterback. They've got Marquez, who can run the ball, Jordan Kaiser, Deuce Jeter. Man, I mean,
hey, this class 5 is loaded.
Yeah.
So
when
you talk class
and-
5, hold on. Class 5, let me just say this. Green Run beat Kempsville 50-8, a 42-point margin.
Yeah.
Maury beat Namesman River 55-7. All right. So that was a 48-point margin. Stonebridge beat Mountain View, who at one point we thought could be the best 5 team in the state. Okay, they beat them 42-zip. The game with the narrowest margin was Highlands against Bird, 35-zip. Like, this is it. Like, these
all number
4
1
teams
teams too.
Well,
yeah,
and
right.
Kempsville,
All number 1
Let me add this.
Kempsville, the last 2 years, they've only lost
4 games.
and it's been the Green Run.
Yeah.
4 times. Right.
Hey, I got a question for the panel.
Oh, good.
We'll let you go, Jay. We know you have plenty to say. Who has a better chance of beating Highland Springs, Stonebridge or Green Run? And by the way, Maury, Coach Diary McCain, we're not talking about you a whole lot, so if you want some bulletin board material, but who has a better chance? I would say that Stonebridge has a better chance of beating Highland Springs than Green Run, but don't sleep on Green Run. And by the way, Coach Johnson and Highland Springs, Braylon Johnson going to Virginia Tech, we're giving you a lot of bulletin board material. I'm still picking Highland Springs to win the whole thing. So,
I'm saying
Stonebridge or Green Run?
I'm going with Stonebridge. And like I said, Stonebridge, I said earlier, Stonebridge won't go to Richmond and be afraid. They're the only team. They're the only team that Freedom has played this year who wasn't afraid of Freedom, and that was Stonebridge.
Yep.
So that's my take. I'm taking Stonebridge can beat Highland Springs.
Yeah.
How bad do you think the 95 South traffic's going to be there for Stonebridge going down to Highland Springs?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Hold on a second. Hold on. They will come down in those fancy buses.
Oh, they are.
So it won't matter. They'll be comfortable sitting in traffic.
Right.
With DC on the side, coming down from they might have a commander symbol on the side.
Yeah, they travel very well.
I know they have some Redskins alum kids that played there.
They
travel
very well on those buses.
Highland Springs is right by the airport, and they could get the Commanders plane and fly down. And by the way, Redskins alumni, Santana Moss's son played there. Eddie Mason's son played there last year. Eli Mason, we had him on the show. And then I'm probably forgetting some others, but they also had Jonathan Allen there. Mickey
FYI.
Kurt Gavea's son, Jaron.
Yeah. Yep. FYI though, against Maury last year, they left Saturday morning from Ashburn to go to ODU for a 4:00 game and beat Maury. Because again, they're going style. They have really nice buses.
Oh,
Charter bus, Charter.
Well,
all the teams, all the Loudon teams.
So let me.
Hey, what type of bus you think the Bruins are going to take on Saturday?
Yellow cheese wagon.
Ooh. All right, you'll be surprised there, Jay.
Hey, like I said, 64 is a long drive to 95 north.
Jay, we ride in style too down here in southeastern Virginia.
Jay, keep it real, Mark. Mark, tell them everybody mama that got a minivan, they just pile them up. Hey, look, the coach said meet us there at 10 a.m.
Right. The team rode in style to Manchester.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Rob, I feel like we're not giving Green Run and Maury enough. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about.
And also more. And let's not forget now, Maury has played in 3 of the last 4
state championships. Yeah,
4 state championships, winning 1, lost of course on the last play of the game last year to Stonebridge. So I know they're pumped to get back. This game has been pumped up since August, and they don't play till week 14. So this is this is a big one. These guys are probably 15, 20 minutes away from each other. Coaching staffs know each other. Players know each other. This is Norfolk versus Virginia Beach. You know what I'm saying? So Saturday, 2:00. If you don't want to make that trip up 95 that goes to Freedom, and I know you don't want to waste $10 to come to Darling, so just go to just go to that Maury Green Run at Green Run, man, and it's gonna be very good. Those two teams are probably, you know, two of our best teams down here. You know, it's a good group of us, but Maury, they're very good. Don't get it twisted. They're physical. Peyton Jones, and that is an Army All-American. He's playing in that game, so trust me, he's pumped. That Maury D is pumped. The coaching staff, Diary McCain, Mike Privet, and them guys, Rio Woods, they're pumped for this game. They've been trash talking each other all year.
Privet's been talking a lot, man.
Yeah. I had to get on him last week. He's a Titan, so you know I'm thinking about sending them an edible arrangement or something this week.
That's right. They didn't get it.
Yeah, they don't get no Krispy Kremes. I'm pretty sure that was their main focus, that bulletin board material. They didn't want, you know, Rob to send them you know, Krispy Kremes. But everybody, you know, you might could use our code, the P, if you want some Chris. No, I'm just messing.
So just so folks know, this was the Final Four last year.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
It's a Final Four last year.
A complete rematch.
Yeah, and I've talked to some people off record, and Highland Springs
is pissed.
Has had this circled from the day they lost. Like they have circled, from what I understand, they circled like, you know, the state championship, the semis, the states, and it was one other like rivalry game during the year. And like this has been what their whole focus has been on to get to this point right here, based on how their season ended. And these guys are just a year older, they're stronger, they're more mature, they're faster, and they're at home.
Where was that game at last year?
Stonebridge.
At Stonebridge. It was at Stonebridge. So I know they probably felt like the home cooking thing. But let me say this. Stonebridge has played an extremely tough schedule.
They have.
They played Freedom that's better than anybody all year. And they put it on Mountain View. They beat some really good teams this year. So I would say, look, Green Run has revenge on their mind, just like Highland Springs. What I hope they're able to use it in a positive manner and focus and not get so overwhelmed with the revenge that they don't use it as an advantage and it's a disadvantage. But I know Green Run, the way they want Maury. They want Maury, man.
Yeah.
I was willing to say all year that this was Highland Springs Invitational, like Larry Legend says. But man, after watching Stonebridge, like them kids, they are tough. They're smart. They're they're coached.
Very well coached.
They live in the weight room. They live
loaded, man. And so they're not going to let anything slip by in this week of practice. I think Highland Springs will win, but it'll be much closer than probably people think. And I think Green Run is gonna beat Maury. I've been saying all year, I haven't been that impressed with Maury. I know they're good, but I think this is the Revenge Bowl.
Their only losses to New Bern from North Carolina.
North Carolina,
that's a great program.
And they were a very good team. I was at that game. And they had some skills. They run like a wing tee.
And they're big. They had a big line, right?
Oh, they're huge. They're huge.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, you know, early in the season, you take the good and the bad from that, and you raise your level of play. But this 5A, this class 5 is
I agree.
Well, and the other thing is looking at the weather report, you know, I think it's going to be a great day to travel here on the first Saturday of December. So save me a seat there in your press box when
Come on, Jay.
Is it? Hold on. Weather is big here because Green.
Yeah.
Big pass.
65 degrees.
65 degrees.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
All across
Look out,
the
Mark.
state. All across the state, which equals great traveling weather.
Great,
A lot of traffic.
Mark. Exactly. Hey, Mark, make sure Jay has the food up there too. I know he probably eat good up there.
Oh yeah, I do.
I tell you what, I need to connect with Jay there on social media so we could show what our transportation will be.
I want to see it.
Yeah. All right.
Mark, I'm looking at this now, and right now it says in Woodbridge there's a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms. 30%. Doesn't mean it's going to happen at that time, but let me ask you this: if we do have to just run the ball, who do y'all think has the advantage there?
I think. Let's see. I mean, number 9. I mean, Blizzard. 200 yards against Manchester on the road after he sat in a bus.
Exactly.
And it wasn't
a great point, Mark.
And it wasn't the Keys wagon.
So hold on, guys. I got a question for you. So. I think again, this is the Revenge Bowls. Where this weekend, this Saturday, because we actually hope to have the Highland Springs athletic director on the show this week. So I say that because after talking to him, hopefully I can get a sideline pass, but I could do that probably anyway with my media stuff. But let me ask you this: what game should people go to this weekend? It's a lot of great games, but if they're all at 2:00, where do we send our audience?
Now, if I were
Stonebridge, Green Run, Maury second.
If I was a fan, okay, I'm a fan, but if I was a paying fan, Highland Springs, Stonebridge.
Yeah. I would say, and somebody might call me a homer,
You
but
are
I would say to that Green Run Maury.
Okay.
That Green Run Maury.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob, don't you have my back? And
hey, look. If I'm at home and I'm not going up to Freedom, so I'm not driving up there because our me and Jay's bet is null and void because Oscar Smith ain't making the trip, so I don't have to worry about the bet. So if I had to stay here, if I wasn't going to Phoebus game, I'd be at Green Run Maury. Yeah. My second game would be Highland Springs,
Stonebridge.
And then my third would be Freedom, Western Branch.
And one of the things that we didn't touch on was in Division 4, Dinwiddie, Warwick. What about the other side with that's EC Glass and Kettle Run?
EC Glass beat Liberty Christian earlier this year. I know that was a big game. They're both from pretty much the same area. EC Glass, the coach, good guy. We actually practiced there, when we, made our state run last year. So I think that's again Kettle Run. I've watched a lot of the shows. And heard Rusty talk about Kettle Run, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a very good one between EC Glass and Kettle Run. So,
yeah, that one I'm picking Kettle Run over EC Glass.
I'm gonna take EC Glass.
Yeah, I'm taking Glass.
Right. And I'll take Glass over Kettle Run and Glass and Dinwiddie. They're in the Ford state championship game.
So for Glass fans as well as Kettle Run fans, we're gonna have another show for you, but I will say this. I like the winner of Warwick Dinwiddie winning the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
No, we're gonna do a different show on Kettle Run, but I saw them play on Saturday. Great game with Loudoun County. Jordan Tapscott, wide receiver, who was committed to
VMI.
He's opened his recruitment up. Their quarterback is very good. Abram. Yeah, he plays defensive end. How often do you see that?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is a big bruising. I got to talk to him and Jordan after.
You said this was their quarterback?
Their quarterback plays defensive end. So,
oh wow.
But they're scrappy. But Loudoun was much bigger, but they are scrappy. They're a finesse team. If you shut down Tapscott, you'll be okay. So that's what Dinwiddie or Warwick has to do. And I don't think Kettle Run has seen athletes like Warwick and Dinwiddie. I think they're just going to, that's going to be a big one. And their size will.
They'll see them against Glass.
Oh, I know. Don't sleep on. I think Glass is going to beat them. And by the way, and that's more power to you, Kettle Run. I think Glass is going to beat them. We're going to have Andre Kendrick on Kettle Run. You want to watch this? We're going to have Andre Kendrick on. And by the way, Dinwiddie Warwick, you want to watch it also. So get your fraternity brother. So you brothers say frat. We don't say frat, the white guys. We say fraternity. There's a reason.
We ain't got time for all that.
Right. Yeah. So I will say this. Andre Kendrick, he might have texted me already, but we're going to try to get him on. And he's really involved with the Lynchburg teams. And there are no Roanoke teams. So we've got 2 Lynchburg teams left. But yeah, I would say that I like Glass to face Dinwiddie. So Warwick and Kettle Run, y'all are not getting a lot of love. So just so you know that. But
and just so people know too, the 757 already knows that we have a team in the final.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Maury Green Run?
We already know. The 757 already has one in.
At least one, yes.
Hey, Pocosin is in.
Wait, I was going to say, Pocosin.
Yeah.
I quickly wanted us to at least give Pocosin some love. Because they're
2A region champ, Pocosin Islanders, man. They're on an exceptional run right now, playing some really good football. They actually play in a pretty, for their level, 2A, in that Bay Rivers district.
Bay Rivers is good, man.
It's good competition. War Hill, Lafayette,
Grafton,
York. That's some upsets.
It's good for them in preparation for that 2A because they beat some really good Thomas Jefferson, King William, right? So shout out to the Islanders, man.
Rob, is New Kent in Bay Rivers?
I believe so.
I don't think
maybe not, but
maybe not. I don't think so. But I know York. Like we play York in the first round, so they play York. Like they play some high like that. Like for Phoebus, we're the lowest school we're the only 3A school in our district. So, of course we play higher. We get the points, and it prepares us. Well, I guess it doesn't, but. It prepares us for it.
Don't sleep on Pocosin, man.
Pocosin struggled at the they finished the regular season on a 2-game winning streak or 2-game losing streak, but has played some great football here in playoffs. And like we talked about, during the regular season they play different 3A schools, 4A schools, and it gets them prepared for playoff time.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well, they've really developed. Pocosin is almost like a spring sports type of program. But their youth football has been strong. Elliott Duty has been there quite a bit of time now, and they're perennial. Rob, they took Phoebus to triple overtime one year, by the way.
Yeah, it was quite. I think when we first made that move to like 3 or 4A, whatever it was, they did take us to. They did. You're right. It was a pretty good game. I think it was 16 or 17, 15, one of them years. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. They're a very good program. They won a title. They have a title. Matter of fact, they might have a couple, but they do a really good job. Like you said, their youth program actually plays like a Peninsula District type youth schedule. So, in the long run, those kids are prepared to play against, the athletic kids that, some teams don't get a chance to play at in other regions. So shout out to Pocosin, man.
Yeah, and Kirk, you are right. New Kent is in the Bay Rivers.
Yeah. So Pocosin's going to play Central of Woodstock, and that's a very good athletic school. If you ever drive to Tech or JMU, there's basically one town between like Winchester and it's Woodstock. It's got the hotels and all that, fast food, but they're a very good basketball school. The only problem with Pocosin is I believe Graham, who's a perennial powerhouse in Virginia, is on the other side. By the way, I believe it's Graham and Appomattox, and Appomattox is really good also. So
Yeah.
Pocosin wins it, they're going to earn it. And so yeah, those guys, they've done a lot, man. I mean, that's a good program. And
Very good program. Very good.
All right. So let's
I just wanted to point one other thing out. We talked about the Class 5 all being #1 seeds, but the same for Class 4. Warwick, Dinwiddie, Glass, and Kettle Run were all #1 seeds.
All ones. Okay.
That's right. No, hold on. EC Glass has more power points though. Rusty, I'm not questioning it, but they're going to EC Glass, by the way. Kettle Run.
Oh, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying they were all #1 seeds.
Okay, so Kettle Run was #1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All #1s.
That's good. Hey, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close with this. All right, out of 3, 4, 5, and 6, we seem to have a consensus on Freedom. Sans Mark, who couldn't go back to Chesapeake without picking Western Branch.
Hey, I've followed Bruins football since '87, and hey, gotta stick with my Bruins.
Yeah. Well, Rob has a hedge bet for Brentsville. So, so we got Highland Springs, and then I think we're split with pretty much Dinwiddie, though, right? So a little bit of Warwick. We had 3-2, and then Phoebus. My question, let's close on this because we're about 42 minutes. Who's the most likely to get upset? I say, honestly, I think it's Stonebridge over Highland Springs or Green Run over Highland Springs. And again, I would say it was the Highland Springs Invitational. So, Mark, out of those 4 divisions, let's put the Western Branch thing aside.
Right.
I think it's the most likely of those 4 to get upset. And then let's go around the panel and close it out.
Let's see. I would say that Green Run has a good chance to run the table.
So you're saying 5. All right. Got it.
5.
All right. Big Rob.
Warwick.
So you like Warwick and 4 more than okay. So we have all right, and then Jay Gholson.
Because of that offense, and because they travel very well when they play, I'm taking Stonebridge.
I gotta ask a question. How are we picking Stonebridge as an upset when they're the 2-time defending state champ and they beat that
earlier?
It is an upset, Rusty.
Hey, Rusty, I was going to ask that. I said they're the 2-time champ, so how is that an upset? It's an upset because of the politics?
Yeah, I mean,
I would say a lower seed beating a higher seed.
You mean a team on the road, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Highland Springs rated higher. So you're right. It's not an upset, but for a lower seeded team to beat a higher seed team, I will pick Stonebridge.
But they're not lower seeded. They're lower
points, lower power points.
But they're going on the road, and Jay's gonna see what Western Branch travels in.
Exactly.
It ain't no cheesy.
You're right there at the parking lot.
Ride.
All right, Rusty. What about you? Rusty, what about you?
So for me, we're just talking 4 and 5 or 4 or what?
3, 4, 5, and 6. Which one is? So we have pretty much a consensus.
I would say in 4, it would
all 3, 4, 5, or 6. Which is most likely to have an upset champion?
I think 4, and I think it would be Warwick. I think
most.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go.
I think Warwick would, and then if I were to say in 6, if there was a possible upset, it would. Well, you mean what would be the biggest
are
upset,
a Bruin on the peninsula, though, Rusty.
He is, Mark. Hey, Mark, he is a Bruin.
Yeah.
The biggest upset would be if Western Branch beat Freedom at this point. I think that would.
That's the other thing is I was going to say Second, I think the most likely is that Highland Springs not winning it. Second is Freedom Woodbridge not winning it. So
No, that's not happening.
Branch,
Yeah, and
Branch or Fairfax, Madison.
All right. This is the last point, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
All right.
If everything plays out like we think, what would be our ideal Final Four Virginia State champion? So we gonna have on the we are the BCS committee.
I got
Who's
you.
I think I can safely say right now we would all put Highland Springs, Freedom, and Phoebus in. Who is the fourth team, and who's 1, 2, 3, and 4? Who's the 1, 4?
Go ahead, Mark. Take it, Mark. Go ahead. You
well, I would say Highland Springs, Phoebus, Western Branch, and then Dinwiddie.
You are a homer.
Yeah.
Homer.
Hey, what you got, Jay?
Well, Freedom, Highland Springs, Phoebus, and I would say I gotta say
Dinwiddie. You already said Dinwiddie. Oh, you like Stonebridge as the 4 seed? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Two-time state champion. That means something.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, because they're not going to give us the nod because we're a 3A school, all right. But we're probably the highest ranked team in the state
Nationally.
now. But I'm gonna go Phoebus 1, okay. Western Branch 2.
Oh,
man,
there you go, Rob.
Homer,
There you go.
Homer L. Ferguson High School. Okay.
All right. Green Run.
Oh,
Warwick.
Woo!
Hey,
Dispensary did you go to, man? Oh,
hey,
Yeah.
Rusty.
Rusty,
Are you?
And we bring 4.
Warwick.
And Pocosin 5. We bring 5 titles back. We bring 5 titles back to the 7-5-7.
Rusty, who do you have behind Bethel?
Okay. I got Bethel Cogan. All right. No, so for the record, I don't know. There's a lot of different things out here, but right now, Max Preps has Freedom #1 in the whole state. Number 1. Highland Springs 2, Dinwiddie 3. Now Trinity Episcopal is a private school, so we're not going to include them. And Phoebus is actually 4 out of those groups. Now 5,
because we 3A, man, they don't respect
Fairfax.
Max Preps is
So let me ask you this: if the first round was Freedom Phoebus, and the second, and then Highland Springs Dinwiddie, that was the other first round matchup.
That'd be crazy.
Well, hold on a second. Is it at Freedom?
No, it's all neutral site. They're all being played at UVA.
I'm not worried about Freedom. We played at Dinwiddie. We played at
Hey, Jay,
with the smoke.
Everybody got to get on the bus.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right, Rusty, you still didn't give your rankings though.
Okay, no. I'm just going by the Max Prep. I think
we don't want Max Prep. We want Rusty Bird.
I'm saying no. What I'm saying is a Freedom Phoebus first round game. Man,
1 and 2. Well, hold on. That means one's 1 and one's 4.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm going by what Max Prep has them.
So your ranking is Max Prep. You going with Max?
I'm just going to go by that. I'm just going by. If I was to rank these, I would go. I'm gonna go by Max Prep. I would say Freedom. No, I would say Freedom, Phoebus, Highland Springs, Dinwiddie. But that sounds crazy because it could easily be Highland Springs. It could easily be Phoebus, Highland Springs. I mean, you know.
I get what you're saying.
They're all, man. Come on. So, but that's why we're doing this, and I think Phoebus beats Freedom, and then they beat Highland Springs. Fine.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah. So this is my brain, not my heart. Phoebus is 1A. Highland Springs is 1B. and then I got Freedom, and then I've got Dinwiddie. I would put Stonebridge as number 5, but I honestly think Phoebus is underrated, and I think they're so good because everybody talks about the superstars, like all the names that we can mention, but what about all the other players? So,
hey Jay, hey, fix your face, Jay. Chick-fil-A on me, man. I got you, man. No, chicken C when you come down here. Chicken C when you come to the semifinal.
Chicken C.
take them to Chicken C. Take them to Chicken C on Jefferson Avenue. Don't take them to the one on Pembroke.
Rusty, are you coming to Freedom, Western Branch on Saturday?
When I was at Stonebridge, after the game, I interviewed my boy Mike Jeter and Deuce. I was thinking in time of springtime, I was like, I have to go to Highland Springs. Stonebridge. Like, I have to be there. But
tailgate starts at 11.
This is the only problem. I don't want to be in that Fredericksburg traffic when I can go right down the street to Freedom and sit in the press box with my boy Jay.
Jay and Mark, man.
Yeah. Hey, man.
So I want to go to Stone because no offense, Mark, but I don't think y'all got a chance. I want to see a good game.
Oh, man.
You know?
All right.
Hey.
So we are the McLaughlin group. We're talking. Let's end with this. Don't sleep on Fairfax. There you go.
All right.
All right.
Let me just say this.
Easiest path.
If Fairfax plays Green Run, they got a chance. I mean, not Green Run. I keep saying that Western Branch. If Fairfax plays Western Branch, they're gonna get a state title. But otherwise, it's a wrap, man. Freedom. Anyway, all right, guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, you can come announce the Phoebus State game.
All right.
Liberty. You can come down. You can come to, or you can just announce Mark in them game at ODU.
Let me know.
Oh man!
All right, y'all. Thanks for having me.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all being on the show, man. It's funny how we all kind of forget our earlier predictions about where, bro. I think you had Oscar Smith winning.
I did.
I had Oscar Smith winning the state.
I did. Mark mentioned that. Mark mentioned it earlier. He mentioned that I predicted them because he talked about them going on the road. So I remember I did mention them going on the road so.
What's everybody's worst prediction so far? I think mine was I think I picked South County to maybe have a chance to win state. Otherwise, I'm good with Warwick. I'm good with a lot of the other ones. Highland Springs, I've been pretty good. What's been yours, Kirk?
Oscar Smith.
I picked Oscar Smith to lose.
You did,
even to Western Branch.
Well, they just tooted their own horn so much that we're not rebuilding, we're reloaded. I just think that they weren't as good as they thought they were, and they'll be fine. They got a lot of underclassmen, but they never, Western Branch proved that okay, it's an off year for Oscar Smith, but they're not going anywhere. But I mean, I would say that Phoebus is the most likely to not get upset. So that's what I'm putting. The other,
good luck to everybody this weekend, man.
All right.
Yeah. No doubt.
Jay,
hey, look, guys, this has been great. Although we may not be able to all see the same game, let's get on the group text and keep giving each other updates.
For sure, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure to take a picture of Western Branch's transportation on that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Man, this has been a lot of fun. And look, I'm getting some really great feedback from people about us doing these shows. I would like you guys to continue to subscribe. We love the comments. And this is just this is why we did this right here. This is why we do it. All we did is we put a face to some of the stuff you see on Facebook and other mediums. So I appreciate it, man. I got true experts in the building. So I appreciate all of y'all. So Rob, Mark, Jay, Kirk, man, this has been fun. Please let us know how right I am and how wrong they are. This has been the Kirk and Burr Show. We're out.
All right.